Hi, everybody. This is going to be part one of a three-part workshop where we talk about adding, subtracting, and multiplying decimals. So this is going to go on page 16 of your notebook. So in your table of contents, you may want to take a moment right now and add page 16 in your table of contents. You can pause the video right here so that way you can get page 16 added to your table of contents. So go ahead and pause the video so you can get your table of contents updated and then hit play again when you are ready to get started on the first part of this workshop. Okay, so again, this is going to be happening on page 16 of your notebook. So what you need to do first is on this page, you can title it Adding, Subtracting, and Multiplying Decimals. You're going to split your page in half so you can draw a line to kind of section off the top half and bottom half. And then the top half, go ahead and split it into two more sections. Okay. So this video, we are purely and only going to be talking about adding decimals. So hopefully this workshop will be a very quick review on how we add decimals. I'm going to show you two examples of adding decimals. One of them is going to be with positive numbers, and then one of them I'm going to throw a negative in there so we can talk about how we add with negatives. So the first one we're going to do is we're going to do the problem 16 and 2/10 plus 3 and 45 hundredths. So one way that I can write that, I'm going to change colors just so you can see. I have 16 and 2/10 or 16.2 plus 3 and 45 hundredths or 3.45. And you'll notice that I lined up my decimal points and all of my place values. So I lined up my tenths place, my ones place, I lined up my decimals, and I am purely going to add just as I add really anything. So there's not a number here. There's no hundredths place in 16 and 2/10. However, we can use 0 as a placeholder. Okay, and we're just going to add our place values together. So if I start here at the end, 0 plus 5 is 5, 2 plus 4 is 6. I'm going to keep my decimal point there, and 16 plus 3 is 19. So if I add these two together, I get 19 and 65 hundredths or 19.65. So the most important thing is to remember to line up your decimal places and all your place values when you're adding. However, let's say we have the problem negative 7.5 plus 5.1. Okay, so just like when we add integers, the positive and negative whole values, okay, we want to try to remember what our rules are. So we are adding numbers that have two different signs. Okay, so what we're going to end up doing is we're going to actually subtract these two numbers, and our answer is going to be the sign of the number with the bigger absolute value, the number that is farthest away from 0. So if we look at the two numbers that we're adding, negative 7.5 is the farthest away from 0. It has the biggest absolute value. So our answer is going to be a negative number. Okay, when I add 5.1 to negative 7.5, I'm not going to go back up above 0 and into the positives. I'm still going to be in the negatives. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract. I'm going to do 7.5 minus 5.1. And just like with addition, I'm lining up my place values. And let's see what we get. 5 minus 1 is 4. 7 minus 5 is 2. I'm going to keep that decimal point right there. So the answer to negative 7.5 plus 5 1/10 is 2.4 or 2 4/10. But it is a negative 2.4 because we are not going above 0. We're almost getting back up towards 0, but we're not quite there. So here are two examples of when we add decimals. You still need to remember if we have negatives, we got to follow those integer rules. So keep that in mind when you are adding decimals. If both of these were negative, our answer would be negative, but we would add them. So if we had negative 7.5 plus negative 5.1, we would add 7.5 and 5.1 together and get 12 point something, I think 12.6. And our answer would be negative because we're going farther in the negatives. So this was a quick video on adding decimals. The next video will be about subtracting.